Hey everyone, welcome to Design with Bro. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to design a clean and simple date label in Adobe Illustrator from scratch. This is perfect if you're a beginner or if you want to learn the basics like rounding corners, adjusting strokes, outlining text, and making your file print ready. Let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is set up our document. We'll create a new artboard. For this label, the size is 4 centimeters by 1.3 centimeters. Next, we create a rectangle using the Rectangle tool. Just click and drag to make the base shape of the label. Let's give this shape a black border. Now, I'll show you a trick I use to create a border with equal margins on every side. Select the rectangle shape and reduce the height until you find a reasonable margin for your design. This looks good to me, and as you can see, the margin on top and bottom of the rectangle looks the same. Now let's adjust the width. Here's how I make sure every side has an equal margin. Zoom in and create a new rectangle from the top of the artboard to the top of your label rectangle. Let's fill this new rectangle with a color so it's easy to see. Click this little swap button to swap your stroke color with your fill color, and let's make it gold so it stands out. The height from the top of the artboard to the top of our rectangle box is 0.15 centimeters. We need to make sure the width from the right of the artboard to the right side of the rectangle is also 0.15 centimeters. So hit Ctrl-C and then Ctrl-V to copy the rectangle, rotate the new shape by 90 degrees, and move it to the right edge of the artboard. And look, it sits perfectly, which means every side has equal margins. Just make sure your main shape is exactly in the center. You can do this by selecting the shape and center, aligning it both horizontally and vertically. And yep, the shape still has equal margins, which is perfect. Our reference design has rounded corners, so let's work on that. Select the rectangle, and you will see these tiny circles on every corner. Just click and drag one of them, and it proportionally rounds all 4 corners. You can adjust the rounding to your liking. This looks fine to me. Now let's add the text. I'll grab the Type tool and click to add text. You can type anything: date, name, batch, whatever you need. Let's type in product date, May 5th, 2025. Resize it to fit inside the border and center align it. Now hold Alt on your keyboard, click and drag the text to create a duplicate for the expiry date. Let's change the date on this one. Select the text box and center align it as well. Select both text boxes and choose a font you like. Let's go with this one. I'm picky with fonts, so I'll just fast forward through this part. I've decided on the Acumen Variable Concept semi-bold font. Now here's an important professional tip. Always make a copy of your live text. Hold Alt, click, and drag the text boxes to create duplicates. This is because we are going to outline the text so the fonts can't go missing or change. By creating duplicate text, you can always come back and see the exact font name, variation, and size you used. Now to outline the text, select both the text boxes you intend to print and hit Ctrl plus Shift plus O. This converts our text into a shape. When you send this to a print shop, they won't face issues like missing fonts. So this one extra step helps both you and the printer. Now let's group both lines of text by hitting Ctrl plus G and align them to the center of the artboard. The design looks ready, but we'll go through some final touches to perfect it. You see how every element moves individually, and there's no white background. Sure, there's the white artboard, but when your print shop drags the design out, it won't have a background. Since the paper is white, your print will have a white background, but when you drag the design out of the artboard, it doesn't come out at the original size because there's no background to define the edges. So we use the rectangle tool and draw a rectangle the exact size of the artboard. Fill this shape with white. Select the shape, and in the Quick Actions panel on the right, click Arrange and then Send to Back. Finally, select all the elements of our design and hit Ctrl+G to group them together. Finally, to save your file, just go to File on the top left corner and then hit Save. And that's how you build a simple date label from scratch in Illustrator. If this helped, subscribe for more tutorials. Thanks for watching.